What's going on, everybody? Tommy Star here. Thank you for clicking on this video. Welcome to my latest Blu-ray update. All my pickups for the month of July. Stick around. Okay, you guys, as usual, I'm barely making it before the end of the month to show you guys what I got in July. I'm always late, and I'm done giving excuses because my excuses are lame. I'm just lazy, apparently. No, but for real, I always try to get it out early, you guys, and I just got too much going on in my world to make that happen. But I'm gonna keep trying. Hopefully September we'll get the August pickups out early, hopefully within the first week. So anyways, on to the update for July. So again, we're coming down, and that's kind of been my goal lately, is to try to get my updates way down, because we had that huge one in, what was it, for my May pickups, where I had like my biggest update ever of 190. And then last update, which was June pickups, I was down to like 80 something, and now I'm down to 52. So yeah, I mean, I was just going a little bit too insane. So I'm trying to mellow out a tad, and hopefully next month will be even less than this update. So either way, as usual, we got some really cool stuff in this update. The majority of it is A to Z stuff, and looking at the list here, a lot of what I've been getting lately for my A to Z have been Stinky Tuna pickups. I've really been getting a lot of stuff from them lately. And I'm really digging this company, you guys, because even though they're not official releases to Blu-ray, they do a fantastic job. They do awesome cover art. They do great transfers. The Blu-ray, upgrades look great. And they do disc art, and we get a lot of cool titles that were pretty much only exclusive to Netflix, so now we get physical copies of them. So I've been ordering stuff from them like crazy. I'm going to keep doing it as long as they put out, good stuff. So we do have some boutique stuff in this update. Of course, Scream Factory as usual. And then I have created a new category, which is Kino Lorber. If you guys remember, in a recent video, I mentioned how I took all my Kino titles and I brought them downstairs and put them with all the other boutique labels that I got down there. And going forward, now we're going to start having Kino as a separate category, because I think they're a great company and they put out great releases. So we do got some Kino stuff in this update. Great stack of horror. We got a couple DC Marvel. We have one Disney. We got a few series, and a couple steelbooks, and one DVD. So some really good stuff, you guys. Like I said, 52 pickups for July. Let's quit rambling on, and let's get into the update. Okay, starting with the DVDs as usual. We got Stir of Echoes 2, The Homecoming, I believe, yeah, with Rob Lowe. I picked this up for like $4, I believe, at FYE. My first trip back to FYE in July. Was so happy to finally be at FYE again, with how long it's been closed down. It was just awesome to be back in there, just getting back to normal, hopefully. But I found this there for $4. Didn't know there was a sequel to Stir of Echoes. I love the first one. Have it on Blu-ray, with Kevin Bacon. And this has got Rob Lowe in it, so, it must not be that bad. So only one Disney title in the month of July, and that's Ralph Breaks the Internet. Just another 4K upgrade. When I'm out shopping around and I'm shopping online and I see, 4K Disney titles that are pretty cheap, I'm going to grab them. But I'm in no rush. I'm not going to spend a lot of money on it. And, maybe somewhere in the $10 to $15 range is kind of where I'm happy. So I think I came across this at like Half Price Books or something like that. So I grabbed it. It was cheap. It was, I think, less than $15. So I still got to get the first one on 4K, but we got this one. So we got two really cool steelbooks from Paramount in the month of July, and I love these. They're just awesome looking. First one up here is Airplane. This is a glossy steelbook. There's the front, and there's the back, and the spine, and then I like what that looks like all opened up. Pretty badass. And then here's the inside with Otto. And then the other one here from Paramount is Clueless. Love the art on this one as well. I like how it kind of blends into her outfit. That's cool. And then the back is just more of that pattern. There's the spine. And then the inside is cool. It's kind of like a yearbook type look, which is really neat. So yeah, those are the only two steelbooks I got for the month of July. Let's move on. Okay, so that takes us to A to Z titles. I'm going to go ahead and start with the non-slips like usual. The first stack I'm going to show you here is everything I got from Stinky Tuna. I think pretty sure this is two different orders from them, but I did unboxings of both of these, I believe. As usual, all unboxings in July will all be down in the description box, so you guys can get better look at a lot of these pickups. Anyway, so these are all the Stinky Tuna A to Z titles I picked up. We have The Do-Over with Adam Sandler and David Spade. That was a Netflix exclusive. And then we got Porky's Pimpin' Pee-wee. I've never even heard of this, but I guess it was like some kind of a remake. But Stinky Tuna put that out. Another Netflix exclusive from a few years ago, Pee-wee's Big Holiday. This was the newest Pee-wee movie and like the first Pee-wee movie we've gotten in a really long time. So cool that Stinky Tuna put that one out. This one here, Star Wars Holiday Special. Never been a Blu-ray of this. There's been a couple of like, bootleg DVDs. I actually like searched for it for the longest time. And now we got a Blu-ray of it. So just something I had to have for the Star Wars collection. Just like a little Christmas special that I think was like a TV thing way back in the day, but was pretty surprised to see that Stinky Tuna had that. And then another Netflix original film, The Dirt, a movie about Motley Crue. I still got to check this out. I just love biopics. But there's that. And then the last one here, this one's really cool because Stinky Tuna actually did like new artwork for it. This movie's never been on Blu-ray before, surprisingly, and that is True Lies with Arnold Schwarzenegger. I have watched this, and the transfer's fantastic, you guys. And I've watched a lot of other Stinky Tuna stuff I bought in the past, like my Cobra Kai series, and they always look good. So just so happy to have this on Blu-ray. Now you watch. Now that I have this, it'll come to Blu-ray because I went ahead and bought this from Stinky Tuna, or it'll get an official release. But all right, that's everything from Stinky Tuna. So I think I got this off of eBay or something like that. But the Pee Wee Herman show on Broadway that aired on HBO a couple years ago, basically it was Pee Wee Herman coming back and just kind of redoing his old school TV show Pee Wee's Playhouse from back in the day, and just like a Broadway version of it. I saw it when it was on TV or HBO back in the day. I thought it was kind of cool just to kind of relive that because, I was a big fan of the show when I was younger. So, but yeah, they actually put this on Blu-ray, so that's pretty cool. So happy to pick that up for the collection. Another movie I had to get that I didn't even know was on Blu-ray, but another film from the South Park guys, Trey Parker and Matt Stone, the movie Orgasmo. I thought this movie was just a goofy, corny movie, and anything they do is like basketball. But yeah, I was really pleased to see that this was on Blu-ray. Came across it on Amazon, so I had to pick it up. All right, you guys, now these next two titles, I'm so happy to finally have these in my Blu-ray collection. I've had the DVD like double feature for the longest time, and now I finally have these on Blu-ray. I'm just so happy. The Short Circuit films. Now this one here was never out of print, like the standard individual Short Circuit 2. I think I paid like $10 for this or something like that. The first one was it's out of print, but it doesn't go for like that much money. Like I think you can. What did I paid like $25 for this or something. It can get up a little higher than that. I've seen it go for like almost 50, but for some reason it's that double feature, the Blu-ray double feature of this that really gets expensive. I mean, that one I've seen $50 to $100 on eBay. But I love these movies. Not a huge fan of the second one, but I still had to own it. But this one I love, you guys. I mean, I've always loved this movie. I've been watching it since I was real little, and I'm so happy to have the Blu-ray of this. I tried to be patient and get it for a good price, and $25, I'm totally happy with that, especially with it being out of print. So next up here is Hot Tub Time Machine 2. I think I might have picked this up at Half Price Books. I don't remember, but I only picked this up because I had the first one. I've never seen either one of them. Let me know down in the comments if these are good movies. I kind of hear mixed things about them. But like I said, it was really cheap, and I just want to get the second one because I had the first one. Unfortunately, the second one never came with a slipcover, which always sucks because then they get separated on my shelves. And then the last non-slip is Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. I picked this up for like $3 on eBay or something like that. The reason why I grabbed this is because I've always had the big like gift set, and I hate opening up that thing to watch the movie. So I figured, you know what, for $3 I'll just get the Amaray, and anytime I want to watch it, it'll be a lot easier than taking that whole box set apart. Because usually collector sets and box sets I like to just keep on the shelf and not touch really. But so that's why I grabbed that. So all right, let's get into the A to Z slipcovers. All right, first up is the latest DreamWorks title, and that is Trolls World Tour. I get everything DreamWorks, so I don't even care what the movie is. I'm going to buy just for the collection. But I think Sadie already watched this, and she's a big fan of the first movie, and pretty sure she liked this one as well. But yeah, like I said, I collect anything and everything DreamWorks. We got a movie called Emma. It's a movie that Jess picked up. Fairly new. I believe it actually came out in July, if I'm not mistaken. But it's got a really cool slip. It's got one of those like soft slips, if you guys know what I'm talking about. And this title is embossed, which is pretty neat. But I don't know. She's into these kind of movies, so she picked it up for herself. We got Capone here with Tom Hardy, like a biopic on Al Capone. I haven't watched it yet, but I definitely am going to watch this soon because biopics are like some of my favorite types of movies. And I love Tom Hardy. I think he's just awesome in everything he does. Fairly new movie. I believe this came out in July as well. But yeah, just looks really good. Next up here, we got Ghost. This is number 8 in the Paramount Presents line, which I haven't been getting all of them. I think my second one. I got this one in Pretty in Pink, and that's it so far. So I thought about collecting them all, but it would have been a lot of duplicates. This one here is one of my all-time favorite movies, and I've always wanted a slipcover for this. There was one that they did back in the day. Paramount put out like one of those, I think, anniversary type slipcovers, but it's like one of the hardest ones to find, and I've never been able to come across it anywhere. When I seen that Paramount Presents was putting out Ghost in this line, I was so happy because they all come with these cool slipcovers that open up. So yeah, just so happy to have this movie with this cool new slipcover. So next up is another new title in July called The Swing of Things. Don't know a lot about it. It looks funny. It's got Luke Wilson in it. Also John Lovitz in it right there. So not a lot of new titles have been coming out the last few months. So when a semi big title comes out for the week, I tend to grab them just because there's really nothing else out there. But this one looked all right, so I'll be checking this out soon. Next up here, we got a movie called Suburbicon with Matt Damon. So I think I found this at like Half Price Books or something like that. I picked this up because apparently this was filmed in my buddy Craig's like hometown or something like that, or close to him or something like that. And he told me about this. He was telling me a story one time about how this was filmed there. So I wanted to get it just to check it out, just mainly for that reason. Not even really a Matt Damon fan, but I figured, what the hell? I found it cheap with the slipcover. And then the last slipcover before we get to the 4K A to Z is a title I got from, I ordered this from Ronin Flicks, but this is a Scorpion releasing title, and that is Van Damme and Death Warrant. Just happy to get, I already had this title, but just happy to get this new edition with the slipcover from Scorpion releasing. We do get some special features, not a lot, but I'm just happy that it comes with that cool slipcover. So, yeah, had to grab it. Okay, now the couple 4K A to Z I got. First one up here is one I've been after for a while, searching this on eBay for the longest time, trying to find a good deal with the slipcover, and took a little bit, but I finally got a good deal on this. Mainly bought this for Jess. She's a huge fan of this movie. But that is The Dark Crystal. Another Jim Henson movie that came out around the same time as Labyrinth. So they're kind of looked at, I mean, they're not really like the same type of movie. I mean, obviously completely different storylines. But they're from Jim Henson Studios. I'm more of a Labyrinth fan. Jess is more of a Dark Crystal fan. But now we got them both on 4K. So the next one up here is A League of Their Own with Tom Hanks, Gina Davis. So this is one of the titles that came in that that big box set that was put out from what is it, Columbia Pictures. They put out that big box set of like what was it? I think it was like 8 titles, 6 or 8 titles, and all titles came with slipcovers, which is kind of unusual for a box set. You know, most of the time they're just like, you know, individual discs or maybe just Amarais, but they actually all came with slipcovers. I found this on eBay. A lot of people are breaking them apart and selling them, you know, individually, which I was happy about because honestly, there wasn't really a lot in that set that I wanted. Maybe Jerry Maguire, that's another one that came in the set. I guess I wouldn't mind having that one, but I really wanted this one. I mean, I love the movie and it's Tom Hanks, you know, so I just had to get it, but all right, and the last A to Z is probably the biggest like new release for July, and that is Scoob, the new animated Scooby-Doo movie, which, nope, I haven't watched this yet because I never watch anything. You know, I just buy movies and put them on the shelf and look at them, right? No, I try to watch as much as I can, but this looks good. I'm hoping that maybe all of us can sit down together as a family and check this out because I know everybody in the family likes Scooby-Doo. So, and I heard it was actually pretty good, so. All right, you guys, let's move on to the next category. All right, takes us to horror. And the first two I'm going to show you here are some more I picked up from Stinky Tuna. Another Netflix exclusive movie, that is The Babysitter. I actually saw parts of this movie on Netflix. I haven't seen it all, but a lot of people talk about this, and this was a pretty popular one on Netflix. So happy to get that from Stinky Tuna. And then another Netflix exclusive movie, it's pretty much the majority of what they do, is Sandra Bullock and Bird Box. I heard a lot about this movie, that it's pretty disturbing, and I'm really looking forward to checking this out because it looks creepy, and I just love movies like that. So I'm really happy that Stinky Tuna decided to put this one out too. So. I think that's all the titles I got from Stinky Tuna for this update. So the last non-slip horror I'm going to show you here is a movie I believe it came out in like the early 90s, The Hand That Rocks the Cradle. I remember watching this way back in the day. It's got Rebecca De Mornay in it, and not so much a horror, more of a thriller probably, but just a really disturbing movie. Rebecca De Mornay gets hired into this family as like this live-in housekeeper, and things kind of start going a little bit too far, where she is kind of overstepping her boundaries and kind of, you know, mothering her kid a little bit too much and stuff. And it gets pretty crazy. But a movie that just kind of popped in my head one day, and I looked it up on Amazon and seen that they had it on Blu-ray. Didn't even know it was on Blu-ray. So it wasn't that expensive. So I figured I'd grab it. Okay, so now the next ones I'm going to show you here are actually part of a series. The first one up here is a movie called The Gates of Hell. I ordered this off of Ronin Flicks. That's another Scorpion releasing title, and they're Italian horror movies from, of course, you know, Lucio Fulci, if I'm saying his name right. I probably just totally butchered that. But anyway, so if I got it right, this is the first movie. The second one I got from Grindhouse Releasing called The Beyond. And it comes in this like pretty cool edition here. It's like a side slip. This, I guess, glows in the dark. And then you get this like, thicker, clear Amaray with like a CD or something. I was more hoping that this would be another slipcover edition. But it's pretty cool looking. So, like I was saying, if I'm right, this is part one and part two. The third movie is called House by the Cemetery, and it actually just got a 4K release from Blue Underground, which, I should be unboxing this week for you guys. It's a brand new title. So, I don't know. I'm pretty sure that's the order of the movies. I don't know if they all like tie in together as a straight trilogy, or if they're just more of like a universe type thing or whatever you want to call it. But that's what my buddy Craig was telling me, is that how they all connect together, whatever. So they look pretty good. Definitely interested in checking them out. I just figured it'd be a cool little trilogy to own for the horror collection. So yeah, we get Scorpion releasing, Grindhouse releasing, and Blue Underground. So three really cool boutique labels that put all three of these movies out. So. All right, you guys, next up are a couple movies that I've wanted for a really long time. I've never seen them, but I've heard really good things about them. They come from the producers of the Insidious and Paranormal Activity movies. And that is the Houses October Built 1 and 2. This was a really tough slipcover to find. Apparently it was only at Best Buy, or I don't know if if the release itself was only at Best Buy or just the slipcover. I have no idea. This one I believe I got off eBay, and this one I got off of Amazon. But like I said, I haven't seen either one of these, but I've heard a lot of good things about these movies, and I'm glad I was able to find both with slips for the horror collection. So really happy to have these movies. Let me know if you guys have seen these down in the comments. Next here is Deep Blue Sea 3. I actually picked this up a few weeks ago, if you guys remember, in one of my weekly pickups video. Walmart put this out early, but it actually got released this week. If any of you guys are interested, now you can find it anywhere, Target, Best Buy. I know, I really like the first one. I know that the sequels probably aren't that good, but I love creature features. Even if they're cheesy creature features, I don't care. I love owning them, and I love watching them. So I think I found this at Half Price Books. Don't know a thing about it. It looks like a found footage movie. It's called A Night in the Woods. But it was a super cheap horror movie I found with a slipcover. So it's put out by like Vertigo Films. But like I said, it looks like a found footage movie. I'm pretty sure it is. Looks kind of creepy, but I just picked it up for the hell of it. All right, next up is a movie that I pretty much just kind of stumbled across on eBay one day. I think I was like, sometimes I'll go on eBay and I'll search like Blu-ray slipcover when I'm searching for particular slipcovers. And I think this just kind of popped up. But it's a movie called The Hole, and I remember it was like $5 with slip, and it's a Joe Dante movie. So I don't know, it's smart, scary, and full of perverse, dark humor. I don't know, but I think I mainly just got it because of the Joe Dante. Obviously he's done a lot of stuff. He mainly known for Gremlins, but yeah, I mean, like I was saying, it was pretty cheap, and I don't know, it looked cool, so I figured I'd check it out. And the last horror pickup is the only 4K horror I got in the month of July. That, of course, is Parasite. Now, I don't get into like Asian horror movies much, but this one just looks awesome. And of course, it won 4 Academy Awards, including Best Picture for 2019. So how could you say no to that? And when I seen that it got released to 4K, I had to get it. But I've heard so many things about this movie that people just call it an absolute masterpiece. So I cannot wait to check this out. I believe I think it's got English subtitles. I think it's in a different language, but I don't care. I mean, I'm really excited to check this one out. Hopefully soon. Okay, we're gonna get into the boutique stuff, which all I have is Kino Lorber and Scream Factory in this update. So we'll go ahead and start with the Kino titles. And to be honest with you guys, I think I got all three of these at Half Price Books. I was at Half Price Books one day in July, and they had tons of Kino titles. I don't know if somebody just dumped a bunch on them one day, but I've never really seen Kino titles at my half price books before, and they had a ton. A lot of them I already had, and some other ones I wasn't really interested in, but these three I were. First up is Melanie Griffith, John Goodman movie called Born Yesterday. I think I seen this back in the day, but I just had to get it. I'm really been trying to build up my Kino collection. Movie that I definitely have never seen. It's got Richard Dreyfuss and Burt Reynolds in it, called The Crew. Don't know anything about this movie. If you guys do, let me know in the comments below, but had to pick that up. And then this one here, Money for Nothing. One of my favorite movies with John Cusack, based on a true story. I had this movie already on Blu-ray. I believe it was the Mill Creek one. But when I seen that Kino had an edition of it, I just had to get it for the Kino collection. I just got rid of my other one. But yeah, really cool movie about a guy named Joey Coyle who found like $1.2 million and I think it was in Philadelphia or something like that. And then he kept it and went crazy, and it's a really cool movie. You guys got to check it out. So, all right, that's it for my Kino titles. All right, getting into Scream Factory. First one up here is a brand new release. First time to Blu-ray, Stephen King's Graveyard Shift. I've never seen this movie before, but I've heard a lot about it. And when I seen that it was coming to Blu-ray for the first time from Scream Factory, had to pick it up. So cannot wait to watch this. Next up here is a movie. I think I found this off eBay with a slip, super cheap. Just a crazy looking movie called Gravy. You Are What We Eat. It's got a pretty cool cast in here. Michael Weston, Sarah Silverman, but it just looks absolutely insane. I don't know if you guys can read any of that. Hopefully you can. But yeah, I don't know. It just, I'd like to build up my Scream Factory collection. If I see something cheap with a slip and it looks semi-decent, I'll pick it up. That takes us to the two collector editions we got in the month of July from Scream Factory. Another Hammer title here called Kiss of the Vampire. I really got to start watching these Hammer titles. I mean, I talk crap about them all the time, but they're probably really cool movies. But so we got Kiss of the Vampire, and then we got 13 Ghosts. Awesome title for Scream Factory with Matthew Lillard. Look at that artwork, you guys. I think this is Joel Robinson. Yeah, this is Joel Robinson. But so those are the two Scream Factory collector editions we got in the month of July. So that's it for Scream Factory. Let's move on. All right, that takes us to my DC Marvel titles. We got one of each in this update. First one up here is the latest in the Lego DC animated series, and that is Shazam, Magic, and Monsters. And I don't remember offhand. I think this is like the 9th one, but I collect every one of these, and I've been collecting them from the beginning. I think it's a cute little series. It's got some adult humor in it. They're like short movies, like short animated films. But they're super funny and they're entertaining, and my son and I have been watching them since he was really little. So every time a new one comes out, gotta get it. And then the Marvel title that I picked up, you guys, I've been after this slipcover edition of this movie for the longest time. You guys know how I am with Deadpool. I like to collect like every edition of Deadpool I can find, whether it's Blu-ray, 4K, whether it's different slipcovers, different steelbooks, whatever I can get my hands on. And this was kind of like one of the last ones I needed. And that is the standard 4K edition with slip for the first Deadpool movie. Now, this never came with a slipcover until these got released exclusively to Walmart, I believe, on 4K and Blu-ray. I bought the Blu-ray one back in the day, but I wasn't into 4K at the time, so I didn't really care. And I was just kicking myself for it because these ended up becoming really expensive. I remember at the time I got one for Craig and I mailed it to him. I should have grabbed myself one because I had the hardest time trying to find this for a good price. I mean, these slipcovers, these 4K slipcover editions were going for like $100. I think I found one once for like 50. I almost bought it and I said no. And finally, I think in the end, I found one for like 30 something, and it was mint condition, you guys, and sealed, by the way. But the slipcover is just absolutely mint. And like I said, the edition itself was sealed brand new. So for $30, you guys, I mean, that was a steal, because look this up. You'll see how expensive this slipcover is. But so now I'm just happy to have this now for the Deadpool collection. I pretty much got all the slipcover editions now, just everything. So that's awesome, you guys. I'm just so happy to finally have this. Okay, that takes us to the last and final category, series. So the first two I'm going to show you here, from Stephen King and J.J. Abrams, we got season 1 and 2 of Castle Rock. I'm so excited to watch this show. And again, one of those things where I get them and I cannot wait to watch them, and then I put them on the shelf and I forget about them until my next Blu-ray update. I'm keeping these off the shelf because I gotta start watching these. But like I said, it's from Stephen King and J.J. Abrams, and it's just, I mean, it's a series that's based on like a lot of different Stephen King characters and things like that. I've talked about this before in the unboxing, but I got both on Blu-ray. The first one came to 4K as well, but the second one hasn't yet. I don't know why, so I just figured whatever, I'll just get the Blu-ray for both of them because they're a lot cheaper. So, but cannot wait to check out this series. So I know I said that was everything I got from Stinky Tuna, but I forgot about these here. All 3 seasons of Scream, the series, the TV series. This is season 1, season 2, and then season 3, which is called Resurrection, where the actual old school Ghostface mask comes back in, because these other series didn't have that. But I haven't really heard good things about this series. I keep talking about that, but I'm a collector. I love the Scream movies, and I just wanted these in my collection. But like I said, these were put up by Stinky Tuna. These were exclusive, I think, to MTV. And I think the first one was only ever released on DVD. I owned it, or not, that's not the first one, that is. I owned it on DVD, but now that I have the Blu-ray of it, I'm so happy, especially to get the other seasons as well, because the other seasons never even came to DVD. But I started watching the beginning of season 1. Wasn't too impressed, but I only made it through about 20 minutes or so. I'm gonna watch them all eventually. I will, but I'm just happy to have them for the collection. Okay, you guys, it takes us to the last and final item in this Blu-ray update, and that is the complete collection of the original Wonder Woman series. First time to Blu-ray. This is a series that came out in like the 80s or whatever. I'm so happy to have this for the DC collection, because not only do I like collecting the DC and Marvel movies, I like getting all the series as well. And I've been really trying to get my hands on a lot of the older DC series. I really hope that at some point the original like 90s Flash series comes to Blu-ray at some point. I got the DVD one, but really hope that comes to Blu-ray at some point. But so happy to see that Warner Brothers put this out. But just a really cool set. Comes in one of those thick Amarais, but it's the entire series on Blu-ray. So, all right, you guys, that's everything for this update. Okay, everybody, all my pickups for the month of July, all 52 of them, and I'm really happy with everything I got. A lot of really cool stuff to add to the collection. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, hit the like button down below, drop me a comment, let me know what you guys think of the pickups, let me know some of the really cool stuff that you guys found in the month of July. Share the video around, subscribe if you have not, hit that notification bell so you guys never miss a video that I upload. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. We'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.